President Trump sat behind his desk and we had a good conversation, during which Sam and I argued that the Nunn-Lugar Cooperative Threat Reduction Program could provide a formula for a successful summit with North Korea, Lugar told NewsPulse News. Both Nunn and Lugar believe a successful summit will produce a broad statement on agreed-upon goals, backed by concrete commitments to begin a phased, step-by-step process of identification, verification and dismantlement, where each step is carefully sequenced with incentives to build confidence for the next. Another sign of a successful summit would be the delegation by both Trump and Kim Jong-un of key lieutenants with the authority to drive the denuclearization process going forward. To date, the most likely candidates are Secretary of State Pompeo, who has conducted the shuttle diplomacy to prepare for the summit, and North Korean Intelligence Chief General Kim Yong-chol, Kim's right-hand man who recently visited the White House to get the summit preparations back on track. I think the odds are very long, and it's highly unlikely that we'll get something from the summit that those of us who follow these issues would count as real denuclearization, Michael Green, a former member of the National Security Council and Senior Vice President for Asia at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, said in a recent podcast. We're much more likely to get very vague statements and declarations. Victor Cha is the former Asian Affairs Director on the National Security Council and the Korea Chair at the Center for Strategic and International Studies. President Trump has already said that we're not exerting maximum pressure anymore and that we're not interested in the Libya model, so we have already lowered our negotiating objectives before the president has even walked into the room, he said in the CSIS podcast. I think that speaks to the fact that what is driving President Trump is the meeting itself, more than the actual objectives and deliverables from the summit. And that's quite concerning. With recent bellicose rhetoric and nuclear and long-range missile tests driving North Korea and the United States toward the brink of a potentially catastrophic conflict, however, it would have been diplomatic malfeasance not to test the proposition that Kim Jong-un really does see it in his long-term interest to strike a deal. In the unlikely event that he is sincere, Nunn-Lugar offers the most successful template to date for actually achieving a win-win denuclearization. There is certainly no guarantee that there will be a diplomatic breakthrough, but we must be prepared to seize the opportunity, Nunn and Lugar wrote in their recent op-ed. Just as we should prepare for the summit to go wrong, we should also prepare for it to go right. James Kitfield is Senior Fellow at the Center for the Study of the Presidency and Congress and the author of the recent book Twilight Warriors, The Soldiers, Spies and Special Agents Who Are Revolutionizing the American Way of War, Basic Books.